Clark County Today is presented by Cano Real Estate. Hire an agent, get a team. Learn more by visiting CanoRealEstate.com.
Hey everyone, Chris Brown here with your ClarkCountyToday.com video update for Friday, November 20th. Well, Clark County wrapped up a dismal week in COVID-19 news with another 189 positive tests and 2 more deaths. That brings the weekly total to 1,109 cases and 10 deaths, both record breakers. The number of active cases also jumped again to 549, and hospitalizations spiked with 65 confirmed and 11 suspected cases, accounting for more than 12% of total bed space in Clark County hospitals. The deaths reported today were of a woman in her 50s and a man in his 60s, both with underlying health conditions. There have been a total of 7,269 cases and 89 deaths reported in Clark County since the start of the pandemic. Well, this afternoon, Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced the state was preparing to distribute $135 million in relief funding. That money, which is part of the CARES Act funding distributed to states earlier this year, will include $70 million in business grants, $30 million in business loans, $20 million in rental assistance, and $15 million to help cover utility bills.
This is a significant relief effort. We can't say it's going to help every single business in the state of Washington, but we can say we're not done with this, and we're happy we made real progress today. But obviously there are other things we can do to help these businesses that are having difficulties, and so we want to be creative and looking for other opportunities, and we are going to find some and have found some.
The state's Commerce Secretary Lisa Brown said they expect to begin accepting applications for the financial assistance sometime next week. Inslee added that Congress, which went home for the holiday today without voting on a new relief package, needs to act quickly to provide more assistance for businesses and individuals struggling under the weight of shutdowns intended to slow the spread of the pandemic. Well, pandemic or no pandemic, nothing seems to be slowing down the local real estate market. New data shows nearly 1,000 pending residential sales in Clark County last month, a 30% increase over this time last year, and more than 28% better than October of 2015, which had been the best October in 15 years. Nathan Cano, owner and broker of Cano Real Estate in Vancouver, said historically low interest rates are driving much of the activity, along with the area's lack of an income tax and relatively low cost of living. Cano added that more businesses allowing employees to work remotely during the pandemic is allowing people more freedom to move where they'd like to. To read more about the latest data and the analysis, be sure to read our full story at ClarkCountyToday.com. Well, yesterday we brought you a retired economist's view that building a new interstate bridge on I-5 isn't necessary in order for Oregon and Washington to avoid paying $140 million back to the federal government. Well, Joe Courtwright also says his recommendation would be for the states to implement a toll on the existing bridge first before committing to building a new one.
We told the I-5 and I-205 bridges and dedicate that money to, again, first maintaining them. You know, whatever we need to do. If they're fixable, fix them up. If that's a short-term solution, do it short-term. But once you do the tolling, then you'll have the answer to that question of, well, how many people really want to go across the river, and how big a bridge do we need? And oh, by the way, how much money do we have to pay for it?
The transportation agencies for both states are expected to unveil a proposed finance plan for the bridge project at the start of next month, which may reveal more about how much the bridge could cost and how it will be funded. To read more about Courtwright's analysis of the project, be sure to read our full piece at ClarkCountyToday.com. Well, the Clark County Council will take next week off during the Thanksgiving holiday, but they'll return with a bang on December 1st, talking about fireworks and whether the county should allow only so-called safe and sane fireworks, essentially those that don't fly above 6 feet or travel along the ground. A public hearing is scheduled for December 1st at 10 a.m. via WebEx, and citizens are invited to sign up to participate or send their comments in ahead of time. We've posted a link and information on how to do that in the story on our website. Now, if the council decides to implement the new restrictions, they would not take effect until July of 2022. And in the world of pandemic and sports, here's Paul Valencia with an update from the WIAA, as well as the Ridgefield Raptors.
WIAA Executive Director Mick Hoffman released a 1,000-word letter directed to state leaders, imploring them to allow high school athletes the opportunity to play sports this academic year. He noted that we've all heard how competition can build character, teach discipline, provide life lessons, and connect students to their communities. Now, with the absence of sports, we know this is more than just coach speak.
In the interim, we are advocating for the opportunity to play. There is no safer place for a student to be than in our schools and in our athletic programs.
Hoffman noted that the WIAA has seen states such as Idaho and Utah play high school sports safely. He said Washington coaches and athletic directors are committed to providing a safe place for their athletes to play. Student athletes, he said, are running out of time to make memories. To read his entire letter, please see our story on ClarkCountyToday.com. Meanwhile, the Ridgefield Raptors are focused on a 2021 baseball season. The West Coast League team announced its schedule on Thursday. The team also has been announcing its player signings. The plan is to announce 2 players per week this fall and into the winter months. Gus Farah, the GM of the club, said the hope is that fans will be allowed to watch the Raptors at the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. The first game of the 2021 season is scheduled for June 2nd. There is a link to the full schedule on our story on ClarkCountyToday.com.
All right, thanks for those stories, Paul. And that is your Friday look at the stories we're following for you at ClarkCountyToday.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to see when stories are posted and be part of the conversation. You can send news tips and story ideas via email to news@ClarkCountyToday.com. For all of us, I'm Chris Brown. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you again next week.